Okay, good afternoon. I'm going to show you how to change the display in your Windows NT. First, you're going to go Start, Settings, Control Panel. Control Panel is pretty basic among all of the different Windows programs. Hasn't changed much, just gotten just a little bit nicer to look at. So we're going to come in here to Display. Okay, with the background, what do we want to do? We could do boxes, critters, diamonds, all of these various ones. Here's little Scotty dogs. See, lots of, and if you double click you can get a bigger sample. But there's lots of different patterns you can choose. And you can see there are other things you could add, so we could have the Scotty dog pattern with the Windows NT 256, or we could say none. And like in the other wallpapers, you can tile and center it, but you'll notice there is no stretch. Okay, that's what you can do with background. Let's just look through real quick. You'll notice there's something pretty important that is not here that's in others. You can't use a picture. So it's pretty interesting. You go to screensaver, and right now there is none. And for us Star Trek fans, I'll put in Star Trek or Starfield Simulator. If you're in a home environment, 15 minutes is not a big deal for it before it kicks on. 5 minutes is better. But in a work environment, 2 or 3 minutes is more than enough. I've even heard of 1 minute. Do we want it to be password protected? Yes, we do. Okay, then we'll look at the appearance and scheme. See, it says blue. The desktop has that green. Okay, this is all basic. Plus, you sort of almost want to leave it alone in some ways. Okay, here is where you could stretch your desktop wallpaper to fit the screen. Okay, it's in a weird spot. You just have to come find it. The only other thing is that for those of us who have poor vision, you could click on here and use large icons. The settings. This is really the meat and potato of any change you make to your display. You can only do 16 color palette. 16-bit, that's all you get. Refresh frequency, use hardware defaults. See, that's the only other choice you get. The one thing you can change is right here, and that is the desktop area. You're either going to have 640 by 480 pixels or 800 by 600 pixels. And only at the 800 by 600 pixels can you come in here and change the fonts. Okay, none of this other changes, you'll notice. Display type, that's the settings. It gets in and it lets you know a little bit about your display. That's all it does, just gives you information. This becomes advanced later. List all modes. This sort of goes away later because you really don't need it. You already know what the modes are by looking over here. And that, so we're going to apply these. Okay, so it says to test them. But we went ahead and... Okay, so, ooh, there's the Scotty dogs. The system is shutting down and it's going to pop back up with the new settings. But we can already see that it's working. And Windows NT is starting. The computer is a little slow. But that is how you change your displays.